WNBA needs to do something about this. Kathy Engelberg, you need to get a hold of what's going on here. The officiating Kelsey Mitchell getting knocked around like a damn pinball, shoots 4 free throws. Aaliyah Boston plays an entire game as big, as strong, as physical as she is. Aaliyah Boston shoots 0 free throws. And she wasn't standing at the 3-point line. The officiating is flat out atrocious. Everybody else is getting calls. I think it's ridiculous. Just the fact that Aaliyah Boston shot 0 free throws tells you everything in itself.
The WNBA just went into full-blown panic, like kids throwing a tantrum after being told no at the checkout line, because Caitlin Clark reportedly stared down a $50 million offer from the commissioner and flat out passed. Picture that much money sitting on the table, only to be pushed back like a useless Uno card. Fans are losing their minds. Critics are seething, and the commissioner is probably questioning every life choice. Strap in, because this is a level of chaos no one saw coming.
And oh man, it is a lot going on in the world of Caitlin Clark. New sponsorships to the left, new deals to the right. It's a lot going on. We are gonna get to everything. Oh, that's a boss move. Oh, that's a crazy boss move. That's a flex. Hey, listen, I understand. You got Nike deals, you got freaking PGA Golf Tour, Live Golf Tour, you got hockey sponsor. I know you got a lot going on, but to turn down 15 M's.
The WNBA was thrown into a kind of chaos that would make reality TV look tame. Picture the commissioner sitting across from Caitlin Clark, sliding over a $50 million deal, the richest contract the league has ever seen, fully expecting cheers, confetti, maybe even someone passing out from shock. Instead, Caitlin glances at it, shrugs, and essentially says, "Nice try, but I'll pass." That's the moment everything unraveled. The league didn't simply respond. It exploded, like toddlers losing it in a Walmart after being told the toy aisle is off limits.
15. Woo! After it started at 5,
right?
But the official final offer was $15 million for 10 weeks. He must be making some good dough, and I just think that it was more like a league thing.
She didn't want to be
anything.
Yeah,
she had to give the WNBA.
And I'm sure many offers came to her, especially after. I think we helped her.
Yeah, make more money
with some more money. If anything, you got a name like Ice Cube offering you $15 million on publicly, man. You got all that. That's all you need. That's all you need for the other 5 and the other 5 and the other 5 to come together.
To see why this rejection lit the internet on fire, you have to rewind to Caitlin Clark's rise. She isn't just another basketball player. She's a walking cheat code. She stormed into college basketball, drilling logo-deep threes and turning defenders into extras in her own highlight film. Fans didn't just attend her games. They were scrambling and pleading for any spot in the building just to watch her play.
Unrivaled. If y'all thought a few million and some equity was going to get her to show up and play in your league, you got another thing coming. I said it. If Unrivaled want Caitlin Clark, y'all, a minimum of 10 million plus like 50% ownership of the whole league. That's where we start. That's the starting negotiation point. I might have undersold her, y'all. I might have undersold Caitlin Clark. Look at...
By the time she reached the WNBA, she wasn't just a rookie. She was an entire economic engine. Merchandise flew off shelves, ticket prices soared, and arenas started looking more like Taylor Swift concerts, just without the friendship bracelets. So naturally, the league figured it was time to lock her in with a massive offer. $50 million, an amount the WNBA had never even dared to mention before. Historically, most WNBA players have been earning salaries that wouldn't even come close to covering an NBA rookie's sneaker budget.
League is on welfare. Okay, if they weren't on welfare, then the league would fold and there would be no women's basketball. And that is basically what has been revealed in this bombshell report about the WNBA being on track to lose roughly $50 million this year. $50 million, which is significantly more than the WNBA had been losing on a yearly basis in the past. Now, again, this is a little bit surprising because of the explosion in popularity of the WNBA due to Caitlin Clark. Okay, but once we get into the details, it's not really all that surprising, but at the same time, reports like this kind of drive home the point that reasonable people have been trying to make about the WNBA.
This offer wasn't just about the money. It was a desperate love letter from the league, practically begging, "Please, Caitlin, don't leave us. We need you more than air." Then came the plot twist. She turned it down. And let's be honest, this wasn't a simple no. It was a full-blown nuclear rejection, the kind that makes the person on the other side immediately question every life decision they've ever made. The commissioner probably felt like someone who spent a year planning the perfect proposal, only to be rejected in front of a crowd filming in 4K. And the reason is obvious. Endorsements from Nike, Gatorade, State Farm, and others are worth far more than any league paycheck. She doesn't need the WNBA's $50 million when she can easily double that by smiling in commercials and casually splashing logo threes. That's where the irony really hits. The league thought it was offering her the opportunity of a lifetime, but Caitlin knows her value. She isn't just another player. She's the main attraction, the reason casual fans even bother to tune in at all.
All right, recent report dropped that the Big Three reportedly offered Caitlin Clark 15 M's for 10 games, but she declined. Crazy. Her endorsement deals must be pretty decent for her to willingly turn that down, because we know her WNBA salary is nothing to brag about. But for her to do that, I guess I look at it like this. If she were to have accepted that before she even stepped foot on a WNBA court, I could only imagine how they would have treated her. I don't even think she would have made it through half the season. She would have had a season-ending injury.
At this stage, Caitlin Clark is to the WNBA what Wi-Fi is to your home. You could technically function without it, but good luck keeping anyone interested. The backlash was immediate. Some fans hailed her as a mastermind, while others blasted her as reckless. Sports media went into full frenzy, covering it like a stock market collapse mixed with a royal scandal. Headlines all but shouted, "Is Caitlin Clark ruining the WNBA?" And honestly, the league was probably asking itself the same thing. By turning down the offer, Caitlin sent a clear message. She doesn't need the WNBA nearly as much as the WNBA needs her. It was like Netflix offering Taylor Swift a massive concert deal, only for her to reply, "That's adorable. I made more than that selling vinyl last week." The balance of power flipped instantly. And make no mistake, the WNBA didn't take that lightly.
And she declined it. If that doesn't tell you how much money Caitlin Clark is making, I don't know, bro. Because who's saying no to $15 million for 10 games? She doesn't even have to score 10 points and she still would be making more than a lot of NBA players make. But Caitlin Clark isn't even back from an injury yet to play for the Indiana Fever. Do you guys think Caitlin Clark should have taken this $15 million?
The league didn't just react, it went straight into panic mode. Without Clark, the fear was obvious. The fans disappear. People forget how things looked at WNBA games just a few years ago, before Caitlin Clark ever entered the picture. Picture a boardroom packed with executives pacing back and forth, sweating, half joking about selling plasma just to scrape together another $20 million. Social media teams rushed into damage control mode, flooding feeds with highlight clips, trending hashtags, and feel-good quotes about growing the game. But it was already too late. The story had taken over. Caitlin Clark had just big-timed the entire league. That leads to the real question. What does this mean for the WNBA's future? If a single player can look at a $50 million offer and casually turn it down, what does that say about the league's ability to keep its stars? And here's the real twist. Caitlin isn't the only one who understands her value. The commissioner is probably still replaying that moment at 3 a.m., wondering exactly where everything went off the rails. If you thought the WNBA would simply smile and move on after Clark rejected $50 million, you seriously underestimate how dramatic this league can get when it feels cornered. On top of all that, Caitlin Clark reportedly landed an 8-figure Nike deal, which only poured gasoline on the fire. A lot of people in the community weren't happy about it, pointing out that Aya Wilson still doesn't even have her own signature shoe. But the math is pretty simple. Aya Wilson played in a WNBA Finals game that peaked around 1.2 million viewers. Caitlin Clark played in the Final Four and the game before the national championship, both of which drew nearly 17 million viewers. The attention gap is massive. And when Caitlin steps into the WNBA, she's expected to dominate the spotlight even more. This wasn't just a rejection, it was a public embarrassment. Imagine throwing the biggest surprise party on earth, hiring Beyoncé, renting out a stadium, and then the guest of honor doesn't even show up. That's how the commissioner felt, only worse, because the entire world was watching. The league's first response was pure denial. Anonymous insiders rushed out claiming Caitlin never really said no, that things were complicated or still being discussed. In other words, the WNBA was scrambling to save face faster than a teenager clearing their browser history before their parents walk in. Then came the anger, though to anyone paying attention it was really strategy. Caitlin was playing chess while everyone else was still stuck on checkers. And of course, the memes followed. Social media went wild. Clips of the commissioner sweating at press conferences were edited with captions like, "When you realize your entire business depends on one 22-year-old. Others created fake WNBA ads saying, "Please, Caitlin, we'll even throw in free snacks for life." It was ruthless, but hilarious. And as always, the internet never misses a chance to roast desperation. At this point, it's clear that WNBA has a serious problem it needs to address. Kathy Engelbert really needs to step in and get control of what's happening because the officiating has been terrible. Kelsey Mitchell is getting bumped around like a pinball and somehow ends up with 4 free throws, while Aaliyah Boston, who's big, strong, and played a full physical game, doesn't get a single trip to the line. And it's not like she was camped out at the three-point line all night. The refereeing is just flat out awful. Everyone else seems to be getting calls, and it's ridiculous. The fact that Aaliyah Boston finished the game with 0 free throws says everything you need to know. Fans were split. Some called Caitlin Clark a diva for rejecting the WNBA's $50 million offer, while others praised her savvy, seeing it as a masterclass in leverage. She didn't need the league's money. Endorsements and personal branding already outweighed it, so turning it down was less rejection and more a statement of power. Caitlin flipped the narrative, showing that the real influence in sports lies with the players who know their worth. In doing so, she exposed the WNBA's dependence on her and set a bold new precedent for female athletes everywhere.